It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. So I wanted to do something a little different this week by doing a product review. And as we've said in the past on the Whiskey Roundtable, we think that we should check out and discuss any new interesting whiskey-related products that we come across. So tonight I'm talking about Old Limestone mixing water. That's right, we're reviewing water. But it's not just any water. This is spring water from the heart of bourbon country in Kentucky. The same water that is used in making some of the finest brown spirits on earth. On their website, they tell us you just won't believe how Old Limestone brings out the flavor profile of your favorite bourbon. It claims to be the exact same water master distillers use in Kentucky to add to their own bourbons because it has dissolved calcium and magnesium in it, which brings forward the nuances of any bourbon without any iron, which would turn a bourbon mash black and, well, be much less desirable. But it's even more than that. They claim that limestone filtered spring water is good with anything made from water. They say we make our coffee from old limestone and our iced teas too. They just taste fuller and richer, just like our favorite whiskey. They go on to say, try a bottle today. Old Limestone. Limestone filtered spring water, bottled at the source in Wilmore, Kentucky, and shipped to our friends nationwide. Now, it is definitely true that natural waters emanating from or running through limestone gets filtered of unwanted organics while seeming to pick up just the right amount of calcium, magnesium, and other healthy minerals that enhance taste. That, as we discussed on our past episode on water and whiskey, helps to bring the desirable qualities of the whiskey to the fore. It is a fortunate circumstance of geology that during the Jurassic and Cretaceous epochs, a shallow inland sea occupied most of what is now Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. Shallow seas are great at growing corals and other hard-shelled organisms that leave behind their remnants on the ocean floor to later become limestone. Here's a brief topical excerpt on Kentucky water that I posted back in 2020. Hi, Doug Dunbar for the Whiskey Roundtable. We're here inside Mammoth Caves in the great state of Kentucky. This thick kinds of deposit of limestone is really perfect for making large caves. The other thing it's perfect for is filtering water. And it's because of this limestone karst topography that you have such great pure water for making whiskey. Also, limestone, the water that filters through this type of topography, also picks up nutrients and salts that are perfect for helping the yeast to grow when we put that water in the mash. Now, a friend of the show, Jen Boggs, gave me this bottle of old limestone mixing water when Shauna and I were visiting her in Findlay, Ohio back in October of 2021. So thanks, Jen. Looking forward to trying this out. Okay, so I have this bottle of Peerless Small Batch, which is somewhere around 110 proof. In my experience, it can do with a little addition of some cold spring water, or in the warmer months, an ice cube. So what I'm going to do now is a blind trial to try 3 samples. One with a 2 milliliter splash of tap water, one with an equal amount of standard bottled spring water, and one with the old limestone mixing water. Okay, let's see what happens. So right here, Shauna is mixing it up. As you can see, she's going to take 2 mLs of each of the different waters and place them in these glasses with an equal amount of Peerless whiskey. And now she's going to mix them up, so I don't know which is which, and then we'll give this a taste test. Okay, now Shauna has placed these here in front of me. I have no idea which is which, right, Shauna?
Correct.
She totally did it in the kitchen, and I've been sitting in here. So, well, this is my regular whiskey, so we'll just get that out of the way for now. Okay, so I have these three, and one again is tap water. One has the like an Avion regular spring water, and then one has the old Limestone mixing water. So it's asking a lot perhaps, but I'm gonna try each one of these and just to see if I can if I can find any difference or preference here. So I'll go from left to right, we'll just see what happens. It's been 2 milliliters of each, right? Whiskey already has a different. Okay, this whiskey's at 110 proof. It's still got a lot of spunk. So, number 2, the middle. Now there's something a little smoother there, and I know I don't want to bias it because it's my second sipper, so. It definitely feels perhaps a little smoother. I get a little more of the caramel profile out of that, I feel, than I did on the first one. Again, could be totally in my head. I know this is a pretty tough challenge, but we'll see how this goes. So now for the third and final whiskey with the third and final water dilution. Well, it is pretty tough. You know, I do know certainly dilution as compared to the straight pour. But if I have to pick, and I have to guess, I would say I think that the middle one is the old Limestone. And I feel like this one, or is there something about it that was telling me this is the tap water, and if I would guess this is the Avion. So, okay, well, let's see how I did.
So there's a number on the bottom of each one.
Okay.
So this one is number 2.
Number 2, okay.
Kentucky.
This is the Kentucky.
This one is number 1. That's the spring water.
Okay.
And that one
the
is
tap water, which I guessed. So I got the tap water one right. I could taste a little more off taste in that one.
Yep.
But I have to say that these were very close. So one thing for sure is definitely don't use tap water. I could tell there was, I could just get some of that off flavor there. And that probably is some of the halides, chlorine, etc. that you have in tap water. Now, as far as these two, you know, I don't really know. I would definitely use a spring water at least, but this, I think certainly the novelty of, you know, if you have a choice, I think I'd want to put some limestone water right from Kentucky. I think that's just a nice touch that your friends would appreciate if you were sitting around having a dram and you have to put some of the old limestone water on the table. I think it's probably just a nice thing. So look, water does make a difference. So if you're having a bourbon or a rye, you may want to keep it as pure as possible. You may want to consider old limestone if you're adding a splash to your pour. After all, you're only using the very source of water that made Kentucky and other nearby regions so advantageous for the making of fine whiskey in the first place. Plus, I imagine your friends will think it a nice touch, as I said. So just Google old limestone mixing water and you'll find multiple places to purchase it. 4-liter bottles runs you about $19, so not exactly cheap, I guess. Okay, hopefully that whets your appetite for other ways to enhance your whiskey drinking experience. So for now, this is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard for the Whiskey Round Table. Cheers, Langeva, and now